Hello everyone, welcome back to GeoGuessr Explained. I'm gonna do a series on this channel now where I go through all the games I played at APAC. Obviously, if you're not in the loop, I ended up qualifying for the World Cup, but I didn't win the tournament, so there's plenty to be learnt from how it all went down. Indeed, the Oceania group here was extremely close. It really could have gone any way. Lero lost all his games, or all his series, but ended up winning a game in all the series, so was very, very close. In many cases, just one round away from winning series. So definitely interesting. In this video, I'm going to be looking at my first game, which was against Eamonn. And yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys how it went down. And hopefully it ends up being interesting for you guys, because it was certainly a whirlwind to play. So I'll put the volume like this. Hopefully it's about the right levels. You can tell me in the chat if it's not. But yeah, I mean, obviously stepping up to this one, I was not quite as nervous as I thought. So as I was there, I arrived, and because I wanted to film with Laserbeam right before this all happened, I arrived and I was really tired and just exhausted and not quite as practiced in the last like half a week when I arrived. And so because Eamon had exams, we went on the second day of play, and I was just so I was kind of depressed after the first day of practice because I just wasn't playing how I wanted to play. Then we had the second day of practice when Team Asia was playing their games, and then I started to feel a lot better. So when I actually ended up stepping up to play against Eamon, I felt, relatively good. So, I didn't really practice against the others either. So beyond like before the tournament, I didn't really practice against him. So yeah, let's get into this game. I was nervous, but not super nervous. But there's some interesting stuff that happens in this series. So let's get into it here.
Ready to
let me know how the volume is.
Still in best of 3 territory. Starting off on move.
Oh yeah, so this one was... So one thing I could say about the entire thing, the moving rounds, there's often info right near spawn, and I often just went too fast instead of looking around at spawn here. Also, like, I immediately had the vibe on this round that it was going to be exactly where it was.
Is where, if you're a
and then I
fan,
guessed away.
Know that this is not... Moving isn't always his specialty, and he definitely has put some practice in recently to try and get...
And as Trevor said, like, against Eamon, I was definitely favored to lose this one, this moving game, because Eamon, probably the best moving player in our group, and I was, if not the worst, like nearly the worst. So yeah,
better at it. But we'll see. As it looks like we're going to be in, and zi8gzag has not moved yet.
Yeah, so I think that immediately had the place name there for Eamon.
There he goes. Looks like we're going to be
Obshina, right? Yeah.
In Bulgaria here, urban Bulgaria. Maybe click Sofia. Let's see.
It's quite funny to see
zi8gzag. Okay, so there we go. Bunsker is the city
on the
name,
server and having to compete.
I can turn up the quality here. So yeah, it said Bunsker there.
I'm so used to interacting.
Which was indeed pretty big, and I'd just zoomed way too far. Obshina is the oblast. Okay.
Broadcast. So yeah,
I found a babushka, but nothing else.
Talking about how things play out, Eamon locks in first. It's probably going to be a quiet and uneventful round 1.
Yeah, Bansko is very famous, that's true. Well, of course, that was a free 5k for him. I literally immediately thought this area, because it felt kind of alpine, and I ended up just hedging. So, I mean, I was kind of annoyed, but, I knew he probably just found a sign, so it was fine.
Wow, wait.
Round 1, I struggled to lock in sometimes.
Just got the city right.
Yeah.
1 stop.
Okay, skipping forward here. Okay, so like even though I learnt Kalimantan,
moving to round 2 here.
Kabupaten, I did not learn them, quite well enough, I would say, to like rely on my knowledge when I know Eamon knows them a bit better than me. So I just decided to insta-send this one when I saw the poll.
Clock maybe is right twice a day, but this looks like Kalimantan.
Eamon like immediately was zooming because he's looking for the Kabupaten. Meanwhile, I didn't even move on this one.
We have a West Cali here.
I just go straight for it.
Probably, or like the...
And Eamon, as far as I remember, does not see anything here.
Eamon, not sure where to go yet. He's also going West Cali. Both players also, again, pretty similar. And we see zi8gzag.
Honestly, pretty good damage. It ended up being quite a bit further inland than you'd think. So, pretty much, yeah, I regained everything I lost on the first round. Next one here.
Insanely.
This is a really good play by Eamonn. Fortunately, and I almost didn't get my guess in on this one. But yeah, let's get into it.
Every game is a good game here.
Yeah, already is so far. I mean, our first game of the day was a banger. Went all the way to NMPZ.
Looks like
Lero and Karania.
Thank you for not.
Okay, so this immediately, as I said, the moving rounds often had info right near spawn. This one says Megalaya, and Eamonn does a good job to recognize it says that. I mean, obviously his screen's bigger than what we can see here, but
Littering, you're welcome.
yeah, that's
Looks
a
like
good
Eastern,
that's a good spot. And meanwhile, I was just
India
going
here.
for a
We
big
do see
highway sign,
Eamonn locking it in.
and unfortunately the movement
Or
was
Zigzag,
quite
I'll call
glitchy
him by
here.
his
Otherwise, I
name
may have been
or
able to
his
get
gamer
something.
tag today. I like Eamonn's guess a lot. zi8gzag has yet to open his map
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
Scanning for
I
something. He found
really
something.
just overshot this sign, and with 4 seconds,
Last second, will he use it?
yeah, I just had to go for, and I wasn't quite sure where it was. I just thought Northeast was most likely, and look at the time. I think it was very close
He's
here.
also going in that same region.
Oh yeah, because I almost didn't click. I almost had a Sheena moment where it wouldn't click down, but it did click down with 1 second to go.
As Eamonn, and we'll see minimal points again. But Eamonn,
Wrong country challenge. I was actually in Bangladesh there, and Eamonn even plonks on the 5K, so that was pretty annoying. But yeah.
What a
Great
guess,
guess.
Eamonn. With double
1,000
damage.
points.
I didn't know that the mics were live. Like, I didn't know you guys could hear me grunting and stuff.
Over a K
Kind of funny.
of damage.
But it was actually a good guess. Like, that was actually a good result. I got the right state, essentially.
I'm gonna show you the next round. And let's
I
just
like
get
that
some.
we have the mics, by the way, where you can hear these reactions.
Yeah, we got the Spaghetti live mic yesterday. We have the next round. Maybe it's rigged.
Explain to me what's going on.
Okay, this is the most interesting round. This round literally could have changed the entire tournament for me. So I'll let it play out.
Okay, why is this rigged?
See what you think.
Is this Australia or?
We're in downtown South Australia
Okay,
here.
yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, so
zi8gzag
we get
to
Adelaide
the
Hills.
field
I immediately, as
in
soon as
South
we spawned
Australia,
in, I
which is
knew
where
it
he
was
is
Adelaide Hills.
Residing in.
Battle of the Aussies. Oh no, it's not. I've been debated there. It's
Well,
Australia versus New Zealand.
New Zealand, same thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so Eamonn immediately realizes that it's going to be Adelaide Hills, and he just insta-locks.
Yeah,
Adelaide,
click Adelaide.
by Eamonn.
Yeah. Maybe there's
Okay, so
something.
I'm looking for I was just looking for anything with a sign because I knew I know most of the places in the hills. So if I can just find a place name, then I can, you know, get a lot closer than Eamonn potentially if he just plonks.
It's like it could be.
Because I knew he's good at
downtown.
Australia. I knew he would know where it was.
On like more south or something.
Find
but
this.
Austria, you have to assume
And there we go, Mount Barker Men's Shed. Not sure what that is, but that was enough information. That's all I needed. So in I go, looking one more
If zi8gzag
time,
doesn't 5K,
and
I'm
I
gonna
get
cry.
in,
Mount Barker.
and yeah,
And-
look at
if
this.
zi8gzag doesn't
I-
5K, I'm gonna cry.
I put my marker down with like that much time left. So I did not realize that Eamonn guessed, as you can clearly see by the way I was playing. So the massive ding noise does not happen, indeed we're just listening to music in there, and I had like zero idea that he'd guess, because you have to, because there's no noise, and I guess like the screen goes red or something, but like only for like a split second. You can easily miss it if you're concentrating and especially moving, and if I didn't place down this marker, Eamonn instantly wins, obviously. So, and I end up winning this moving game, so it's a crazy good fortune. I just like I really cringed so hard when I found out that that's what happened. But I did have an inkling that might be the case, it might have been very, very close, because it instantly, I put down my marker,
Mount Barker.
and it just instantly goes to the scoreboard. I was like, I've never seen a GeoGuessr guess register that quickly. But yeah, there we go. So let's head through to the next round. That one could have cost me that could have cost me my spot at the World Cup. It seriously could have. But okay. Next one here.
He's close.
Yeah.
He's close.
100 points.
Wow.
100 points.
We said the last best of 3 was hyper competitive, and this second one seems to be going the same direction.
Round 5.
Okay, so Philippines ended up being a fantastic country for me over this tournament. Let's see how this one went down, because obviously I did quite a lot of prep on it to try and
Halfway
learn.
point already? I feel like we just
the,
switched the server on, bro.
Shout out to Adlama, true. To try and learn the provinces and whatnot.
Max damage here.
Yeah,
Looks like
triple damage now.
driving right with this concrete.
So we immediately had a tuk-tuk at spawn. I was immediately thinking, okay, I'll just default guess Mindanao, because they're the most likely to be in the southern island.
Bring us to the Philippines. I know that both players took the time to learn Philippine provinces. Where are we seeing here? tuk-tuk here.
Yeah, so obviously we're just trying to find the province name. I think Eamonn actually does get to it here, and I don't.
I've mentioned
I thought this sign would be useful. It wasn't.
to me. That's my mute button. This one's yours here. Ignore that, everybody at home. No, you've told me that tuk-tuks vary regionally, right?
Yes, that's like a regional.
Okay, so he gets to the sign with the exact province on it, and meanwhile I'm struggling with these political posters, which I thought would be useful.
Devout lock in here by Eamonn.
Yeah.
I'm in it now. Oscar has yet to
Go
find.
for one more look at this, and then I realize, well, 6 seconds left. May as well go for my region guess.
Both pretty
Both
close
players
to each
pretty
other.
close again. And that would be.
And you can see us pretty surprised about how close that was. I knew it should be Mindanao. I had no idea where in Mindanao, really. But yeah, that was a pretty good guess. Eamonn did, of course, know exactly where it should be, so good fortune there. But yeah,
zi8gzag. Happy he got there in the end.
I think we gave each other a smile there because he could tell that I didn't know where it was. I think.
Trevor out. Tuk-tuk.
Okay.
The Lausanne flexing his on
Next one
skills.
here, we're back in the Philippines, as far as I remember. Let's see
Like
what
we're
happens
back
on
in the
this one.
Philippines again here. So maybe we pick up a new favorite tuk-tuk today.
Maybe.
So I was pretty happy with my decision making there. I took a step down this way and realized that the info did not look too promising. So then I decided to switch back
At
to
the
the
end
other
of this
direction.
best of 3, one of our players will be briefly tucked into bed because we have to have a winner and a loser. But right now, I cannot tell who it's going to be.
Oh, we have.
So
Is that the
tight.
Luzon tuk-tuk?
Okay, so yeah, Eamonn passes one of the Luzon tuk-tuks. They have like the varying heights, like the one roof that's a lot higher than the other.
What?
That might be the tuk-tuk I just mentioned.
Really?
Yeah, so
Maybe,
there
why
I
not?
see it. So that's like making me think, okay, Luzon should be fairly safe.
It's a sign.
Looks like it. And we do see a Luzon zoom in maybe here by Eamonn with it.
I also noticed
Yeah.
one of the tips that Adlama gave me is that like when the road is quite like damp looking, a bit darker from like being rained on, that's often found in eastern Philippines. Like there's more rainfall in the east. So I was thinking that it might be eastern Philippines here. Yo, Dan, thank you for the raid, Aussie Golfer. Shout outs to Aussie Golfer. If you're watching this on YouTube, go follow him on Twitch. And here we are. So 30 seconds left. Haven't come to any info yet.
We'll see.
30 seconds left now on the clock.
So here we are. I thought this surely has some good information on it. And it didn't really. I don't think there was actually the province. The province was probably written here, but it wasn't legible if it was there.
Thank you. Come again. You're welcome.
I mean, you literally did, Trevor. Went to Thailand, then you ended up coming back to live there.
Well, this is the Philippines.
So yeah, it says Barangay there or Barangay, but that's only good enough for the very regional locality. No one's learnt those. So yeah, I just have to, with 10 seconds left, I go for
I'm
one
just talking
more
about what it
try
says
on the
there.
info.
So,
Looking at this bus
talk about
thing.
throwing
That again does not have anything, unfortunately. It very well could have, but no address.
people under the bus.
5 seconds left. I go in for the region guess.
All
I
right.
see a Luzon too.
Meanwhile, Eamonn has not found anything, and he's in Mindanao, so we go for very
Oh, we
different
have a-
2
2
guesses.
seconds. Big difference here.
And there we go. I moved off the 5K, but obviously this was easily close enough.
Could that be it? With the multi? It is!
Yes.
That one out.
And Eamonn kicking himself because he had seen that that tuk-tuk on the way. Just forgot about it, I guess. But yeah, back-to-back Philippines rounds being very nice to me, which is hilarious because I put down Philippines as one of my weak countries, but in this tournament, it certainly wasn't.
Absolutely crept up on us, Trevor.
Yep.
Ziggs.
Okay, let's get through
make
here
it
to the next
Let's get
one.
one around.
Body into.
Okay, no moving. This was an
This is
interesting
no
one.
move.
This
We get
is-
one 360 panorama
This
here.
is Microsoft XP. Windows XP.
Microsoft XP.
Do you get the reference?
Yeah,
or no?
but it doesn't look anything like it to me.
Oh, yeah, but that's
Isn't it
because
just
your
like
eyes are better than mine, all right? You are GeoGuessr Pro.
First one here, like we have like the corn everywhere, and then we have like the gray, like kind of gray gravel on the side of the road, which I associate heavily with normally being in Iowa or surrounding Iowa. So
So it's like We won't.
See,
It was a fairly boring round. We both got
Great
it,
guess
so
by Eamonn.
Yeah.
really nice guess by Eamonn, as they said. But yeah,
That's actually
whatever.
560 points round
Yeah,
one.
in round one, that's good.
The yellow outer lines.
Okay, next one here we had South Africa. I think
Driving
neither
left.
of us got too close here. It was a fairly
I'm
distinctive
not sure
looking
who has
round,
advantage
though.
in South Africa. We see maybe North Cape guess here by Eamonn.
I feel like there's much more to talk about on the moving rounds, like in terms of what was going through my head. This one I was just going for the region
Sorry
guess.
to interrupt, but zoom.
We end up fairly similar area here. Eamonn adjusting a bit closer.
I would love to see.
One more.
Good guess by Eamonn.
And
I feel like it was actually hard to get that close there because it looked a bit further east.
Eamonn's a bit closer.
yeah,
I
good
would
guess
love to
by Eamonn.
see move.
So obviously
Moving
going down a little bit at the early days, but that's always how it is for me. I just tend to lock in much more on the later rounds, or get lucky depending on how you want to look at it. But anyway, next one here, we had I think plenty of Tohoku infrastructure, so it was not going to be too much of an interesting round. Also, that typical rice fields that you see in the Tohoku, southern Tohoku region. Again, I think it's pretty standard, so I'm just going to go past this one. I don't think it's too crazy. And we also both get to the same place.
2x.
And yeah, I actually happened to get the right valley there, which was
That's
nice.
closer. That's a very solid guess.
The players getting on the note.
And Trevor, why is that? Teach me.
Next one here was interesting. I mentioned this one in the post-game interview, but I thought I was watching like some like Finbar Russia coaching videos while I was on the plane. I downloaded some, and I really thought that we might be looking in this field over here at some Nizhny Novgorod yellow flowers. But I didn't really have a good idea of what it was going to be anyway, so I just kind of went on that because it felt very warm. Like, it didn't feel like the northern Russia coverage, which you get in Summer Gen 4, but it also like was not familiar to me. So I thought it was just one on the outskirts of a bigger city where you sometimes get this coverage. And Eamonn happens to get like probably his best guess of the whole tournament. He clicks Velsk here. I'm in Nizhny, as I said. I locked in earlier, and it ends up being right there.
Yes, on the same road. Wow.
So, for context, the summer coverage is a lot in Komi and Arkhangelsk oblasts, and that one actually spilt down into Vologda or something, one of the ones there, which is crazy. Like, it's extremely rare. And it was a really nice guess by Eamonn. But to be fair to me, that's as far south as it goes. So that's why I got the southern vibe on it. But yeah, if this came at higher multis, then I would have been in serious trouble. Because this was already 3,000
by Eamonn.
3,000 damage.
Wow. Moving around 5. We probably have the zigzag advantage here.
Next one here, we have Australia. As I said, Eamonn is quite good at Australia, really quite good. When it comes to Australia, like, I'm really good at the old coverage, and this is Gen 2, so this is the old coverage. It's what I excel in, considering I used to play Australia back when it used to have this old coverage. But here we are. These trees really reminded me of kind of more northern Australia. Let's have a look around here. So yeah, this ended up being an area which I'd like kind of checked what it looked like recently. And I also I think I would have got it anyway, but yeah, the combination of the trees and the road and everything really reminded me of Max North, New South Wales, so I ended up going there. Also, the mountains are pretty big in that area of New South Wales. Like, we can see a fairly sizable ridge. That's at least would say 1,000 meters, right? So I log in. Eamonn responds by, yeah, I mean, where he's guessing is probably one of the other possible places for sure. And I think it was considered, he does actually hedge up a bit further north here, which is a good decision. And it ended up being right on the border there. So, bit of multi-merchanting going on. I was only on 2,000 health at this point. And Eamonn's still with a big advantage. And we head through to a Brazil here. No area code. And fairly typical grassy mountains that you see in the southeast of the country.
You see maybe a tri-point. 45 seconds left. Similar guesses so far.
The longer I looked at it, the more I was inching further and further south, because I was like, it could definitely be Rio de Janeiro. But at the end of the day, it was just a vibe guess here from both of us.
There.
And the time actually does run out here. We both just
detail.
optimize our guesses. But I definitely ended up clicking closer and closer to where I actually was, which was good.
5
I'm
seconds
nervous
now.
for both players here. Similar guesses, but still could be decent enough points, and it goes to...
There we go. I mean, I could have, if I had have clicked on the Rio border, it could have been huge damage, but
Exactly.
we're still
Closer.
good.
He needs that because he's behind, and with the multi, he's going to take the lead. Oh no, not quite.
Parla managing never to predict the multipliers correctly, but now it was all even.
Never do math on air, but it's close. It's anyone's game. Trevor.
Anyone's game.
Oh, now we had a Bangladesh.
And we're back in the same country.
This was an interesting one because we did actually have like addresses here, right here, I think. So, Koretic was saying that I should have tried to character compare, tried to compare this to whatever's on the map to try and get the right state. But I did not do that. I just went for the vibe guess. But fortunately, Eamonn didn't try to do that or was unsuccessful in doing it as well. So let's actually see if Eamonn did that. I'm not sure. He's just looking at other stuff. Does he try and character compare here? Not really, as far as I can tell. He is looking a lot at the sign, but he doesn't try and character compare. So yeah, he just ends up hedging near Dakar. He was thinking of going further north there. You can see he was like kind of considering Suliet, which would have been terrific for me. But yeah, that was a good round there. And let's head through to the next one. Oh, this is a very standard round. We had a number plate here. I think it was actually a New Hampshire plate. Oh no, it was definitely at least one Vermont plate, but I think it was over the border in New Hampshire, right? No, it was just in Vermont, right on the border. And then, so it's 8 rounds in. HP is essentially even when you consider it's 5 times damage, and we're on to round 9. So round limit is threatening to take place here, and we get this round. So let me take you through this one, because this is the round that ended the game. We had no Google car at all, and we had 2021 copyright. So as we get into here, I was intently studying what we had going on. Eamonn the same. The sun was definitely to the south, so Northern Hemisphere seemed more than likely. And then we had no Google car at all. So even though it felt kind of tropical, and I did consider Mexico, I thought with 2021 no Google car, that's something you do see quite a lot in the US, and I think very, very rarely, if ever. I don't really think it is actually possible in Mexico. So US just made sense, but landscape-wise, I can definitely understand Mexico for sure. It kind of looked like Mexico City area. Anyway, but we'll see later on in the tournament that I made some guesses on the essentially on car meta don't make sense. So yeah, we'll get to those. But anyway, US seems most likely to me. My first thought was Arkansas. Yeah, I had it in Arkansas. That was my true thought, but I thought I have to hedge because it seems so tropical that I thought maybe this is actually just further east in Mississippi, Alabama. That my worry was that this could potentially be Georgia, and if he goes Alabama, then I just die. Well, I would die anyway, but I thought let me just hedge it a little bit further east in case. Because Arkansas was my true thought, but it ends up being Missouri, which is crazy, and Eamonn unfortunately misses out. Actually, he goes down in Chiapas, so interesting guess. I mean, I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. It did kind of look like Mexico. Missouri is crazy though, so far different in longitude, latitude, and then we do the handshake. Yeah. Anyway, I came up with that one. You're welcome. And that is it for the Eamonn series. So obviously I was chuffed going into that after that. Because I knew with 2-0 win pretty much almost guarantees you third place at least. So, that was obviously a big result. Yeah. I mean, good guess to Eamonn. He definitely played in a way where he could have won. I think the Philippines blunder definitely was like bad on the first game, but everything else I think he played really well. I think Eamonn showed up to the tournament and exceeded people's expectations in my opinion. So good games, and that's going to be it for that one. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for in the next few days the next episode, which will be me versus Lero, which was an insane best of 3. Okay.